Hello everyone, today I'll be doing a solo Grandmaster run Battlegrounds Behemoth with Warlock. For my subclass, I'll be using Prismatic Song of Flame. Here are the fragments I'll be using for this video. For my kinetic, I'll be using a Scout Rifle. Next, I'll be using a Arc Glaive. For my heavy, I'll be using Anarchy. This week we're gonna go on Warlock. I'm gonna go hoverboard Sparrow for my life because I want to take down the Thrasher of the ship quickly as possible with a glaive. Yes, I could use a sidearm and it would make things easier, but why not use a glaive? Maybe they'll have glaives artifact mods next season. I'm having very less hopes right now. This is the new GM Battlegrounds version where there's going to be so many ads. That's 1, copy and paste champions, that's 2, a lot of snipers, that's 3, and transcendence, that's 3 and 4, and then a lot of super, and that's 5 and 4. Yes, a lot of things going on where I'm going to be spamming my super. I am going to be chaining a bit with Transcendence and Super for this video. So basically what you do is you take down the ship quickly as possible, which is what I did. Then you just spam your super. Spam your super, you spam your Transcendence, and that's basically the whole concept for this objective. Mainly you do need to pick up 3 of the, let's just call them modes or keys. Let's just call them modes. That way you can complete the objective and then go to the next area. Yes, that's basically it. I didn't know that I was supposed to pick up those 3 keys that the Captain Scions drop when you defeat them. This Battlegrounds was new to me of the GM version. There is a bunch of snipers, and the Cabal spawns could one-shot you if you're not careful. That's why I didn't really push too much, because I don't know of where the spawns when the ads or the Cabals appear. So that's pretty much why I was standing on this area, because there is possibility I could try to walk around, explore the area, and then the Cabal spawn one-shots me and then I get sent back to orbit. But you can see here, I did pick up 1 of the keys or the emotes. Now I need 2 more. And I didn't really pay attention too much of that, which I should have paid attention more for this footage or for this run. So mainly there is a bunch of champions. I am using the Drain coat just to have the enhanced turret so I can take down and freeze the enemies. And then just make my way to just finish this objective. So yeah, that's basically what's going on for this GM. I mean, there is a modifier called the shot caller. I am using it. You can see it's around 14 seconds where you do multiple precision shots with a pulse rifle or scout rifle. I am using a scout rifle for this video, where your special and your heavy does more damage and then you get a resilience. I didn't really use it too much. I wasn't really paying attention of the mods because there's just a swarm of ads. For this GM, it's making you, just pull back and then just keep using your scout rifle. It just didn't work out. Wasn't working. This modifier didn't really help me too much. I mean, it's helping for me a little bit, but If it was an overload champion, I would definitely switch to a grenade launcher and then just spam my abilities and special. And yes, I would definitely just put a double special weapon. That's pretty much what I would do if I was putting like a radiant build and then I put double special for this run. Because it's just a swarm of ads. Like, how the Bungie am I supposed to clear these ads with a non-prismatic transcendence subclass without the roaming as well? I can picture myself that this run will probably be around 50 minutes if I did decide to go for a non-prismatic subclass without the roaming buff. So there is a ship that did spawn. I did pop the glade bubble to protect myself from the missile. That's why I was standing behind and then just waiting for the ship to float around like a ballerina. We're going to see him again soon. I am going to be doing a time skip, or I would make a joke about chaos control, but I don't think anyone's played Sonic, so I am just going to speed up the footage very soon of me taking down the ship. Another thing I should have done is collect more of the keys, like from the right side. I should have done that quickly. So that was one mistake that I should have done to make this run way more quicker. So once you take down the Thresher, then you clear more ads. But like I said, make sure you collect the 3 keys so you can get this objective done way more faster than what I'm doing right now. Didn't know, by the way, this is a copy and paste Battlegrounds. There's really no story to it. And you know me, I hate Battlegrounds. I despise it with all of my hate. I never really liked Battlegrounds ever since the beginning. I always told my clan, I told LFG that I hate Battlegrounds. And I remember this was the first Battlegrounds when it was introduced. And I remember when I first played this on the first day of the new season, I hated it. I remember I was telling everyone, I was like, I hate this, I don't like this, they're gonna make this into GMs. Everyone was laughing at me, haha, Blitz, yeah, right. And guess what? Joke's on them, I was right. I'm not actually surprised that they actually made this into a GM version. I knew they were gonna make it so many years ago. And I don't understand why people like Battlegrounds. I don't like it. It's so boring. It's ads here, spam abilities here if you don't have prismatic build or transcendence build. I mean, look what I'm doing here. I'm just chaining my transcendence and my super with a little bitty of anarchy, a little bitty of scout rifle because of the shot collar, so I can get more DPS on my special and my heavy. That's basically what I'm doing for this GM. I mean, imagine if I didn't feel like using the glaive. Let's just pretend I didn't feel like using the glaive. I use the Botan or the Void Grenade Launcher. I mean, that will pretty much be the meta loadout for this GM. And I would make this run way more faster than what it is in this video. But it is pretty ridiculous. I know this GM is probably going to be the easiest, second easiest versus Birthplace of the Vile, and then this one will be number 2. But trust me, I'm just being super honest. Doing this GM passive and without transcendence and prismatic and without roaming buff, this is going to take around 50 to an hour. I'm already visualizing what would happen if I was on this subclass or this subclass or this super, and I can already picture myself that this GM is gonna be a nuisance. I know for this footage, I do make this so easy, but trust me, without Prismatic Transcendence, without the broken spam abilities, this GM is a headache. So I did turn in the 3 modes or the keys, and there is a bunch of ads, but you don't have to take them down. I mean, you could just go to the next objective. You don't need to waste time. So let me introduce you to Proving Grounds, the baby version of Proving Grounds. But they made this into a Battlegrounds. I just want to throw a stasis turret because I already had a feeling that we're gonna have ad spawns. So I am pretty new to this GM Battlegrounds, and I was trying to figure out what are the nice sweet spots I can stand and just go ahead and clear the ads. I didn't like standing at the far distance too much, so I thought maybe I should just hang around on this spot and maybe a little bit more closer to deal with the Cabals from far away and the champions. There is actually a bit of ammo bricks, and I noticed when I pick up the ammo bricks, it doesn't really give you a lot of heavy, but it does give you full special ammo. So that means you can spam your special weapon. So if you're using a grenade launcher from the dungeon, by all means, spam it and use it. Take advantage of it. And for this one, I did decide to use a glaive. So Cabals did spawn, and I just used the glaive bubble and then just take down the Cabals. Then resume on clearing ads. So the objective here is to defeat the Cabals until we get a champion to spawn or a captain. I think champions spawn once it goes 100%. Then we have to pick up the bomb and throw it at the explosive barrel. 3 times, by the way. So imagine if you're not able to spam abilities or you're super. I mean, think about how long this is gonna take. Every time you have to take down the Cabal or the captains. I mean, wouldn't that be fantastic? Wouldn't that be fun? And yes, we do have a meteor or fireball Nujutsu. And he is pretty tanky, a lot of chakra, but with the power of anarchy, this guy's a joke. He is shooting a lot of fireballs, I'm not gonna lie about that. So once you pick up the bomb, you just throw it to explosive barrel or explosive bombs or the power cell. Then we're gonna do it again. Yes, so now we have to defeat Cabals 100% again. That way we can have a champion to spawn or a captain, and that's pretty much what you do for this objective. Isn't this fun? I mean, look at this. Look how many ads we have. Look how many swarm of enemies we have. This is the reason why I decided to just use Prismatic for this GM. It just makes it way easier to deal with the swarm of enemies or tornado of enemies. It is pretty ridiculous. And if you don't believe me, test this on a non-prismatic, non-Roman super on this GM, and you'll see a huge difference of how a nuisance this GM can be. we do need to just clear ads until we get 100%. I mean, this is really fun, right? I'm having the best day of my life. I'm the happiest guardian ever. So I am just spamming my stasis turret, and then we're just going to clear more ads. There is snipers up ahead too. And we do have these banes. And my critique about the banes, I really hate them. Yeah, sorry for being negative, but I despise them. I don't like the fact that they are RNG. That's one. Two, the drainers need to be nerfed. Look at it. Look at the drainer. Why is his tether stronger than a hunter? Like, what is going on over here? Like, poor hunter mains for that. Also, just to let everyone know, they did fix the bug for the golden gun, when you can get your golden gun super much faster. They fixed it recently, which I didn't know because I was debating to go with that subclass. But then I was like thinking about maybe Warlock. I was feeling more of a Warlock mood more than a hunter. And then I was thinking about going on Prismatic Hunter, but then I saw they nerfed the golden gun and then I got sad. I wasn't too surprised that they were going to fix the bug for the golden gun for the hunter super. That's one of the reasons why I didn't bother myself even trying to do the dungeon on hunter, because the only way I can think of is the golden gun prismatic. And yes, they did fix the tether for the dungeon, but honestly, this episode is super short. Basically, this is the weeks where you need the bounty prep, pretty much. Alright, so now we're gonna be just clearing more Cabal ads and hopefully we can get to the boss fight. So I'm just on my far distance just to clear out the ads and the enemies. This is really fun, right? I'm enjoying this a lot. The good news is we did get platinum rank, but this is basically the whole GM, if anyone's wondering. I mean, you just clear the Cabal, defeat it 100%, you kill a bunch of champions, you take down the mini boss, you pick up the bomb, you destroy the power cell, you pick up the power, and then you take down the battery, the explosive barrel. You take down the explosive barrel. Rinse and repeat. You do this 3 times, by the way. This is not a, oh, you only do it once. No, you do this 3 times. And like I said, if I did switch to a grenade launcher or a sidearm, you know, this run would have been way more quicker, but honestly, the run that I did for the first go wasn't too bad. Alright, so once we make it to 100%, I'm going to be clearing the ads because this is dragging on more than it's supposed to do. Now, the Ensemble champions do like to sneak up on you going from the left side. So be aware that the champions can sneak up on you, but the good news is there's no chaff. Yes, there's actually no chaff for this GM, so you can actually see the map, which I didn't really pay attention to much. So just to let everyone know, make sure you check your radar of your surroundings, of where the champion is and enemies. I didn't really look at a radar. And the reason why is because I'm so used to chaff that I don't really look at a radar so much. So that's the good news for this GM. I'm going to make sure I clear these Cabal and these ads, because I do need to throw the bomb there, and the worst case scenario is I throw the bomb and it doesn't shoot the power cell or the explosive barrel. I mean, that would pretty much make me sad, and I just wouldn't like it. Let me take down this unstoppable champion so we could just get this objective done and over it. It's already way too long than I'm supposed to do. Now I'm trying to figure myself out of why I didn't pick up the power cell, right? I think I was just trying to get some ammo. So it did disappear, but the good news is that if you do have the power cell to disappear, then it will spawn a war beast dog, and then you could just easily just take it down and break the explosive barrel. So now we're gonna go to the next objective, and this is gonna be the final boss. So basically what you do here is you're gonna throw a stasis turret, and then once you begin for Proving Grounds, I mean Battlegrounds Behemoth, you're gonna get your super bag, and this is the perfect opportunity to spam your anarchy and your super. So make sure you use your super, use anarchy, just spam your super, spam DPS, because this boss has a lot of health. He is extremely tanky from what I noticed when I was doing DPS on this boss. And I was trying to figure out what are the best spots for me to do DPS, and I thought maybe on top of this rock. Maybe this spot would be good. You know, I was just guessing. I wasn't really sure of what spots could be the best. But you can see that it isn't really so bad. I mean, the boss seems to be cooperating. I was just guessing because it's a baby version of Proving Grounds, and I was thinking maybe the boss is going to be hopping around like a bunny and just stand there, and I was right. It was a big guess, by the way. I didn't think this spot would be good, because I have seen players just stand in the middle of the map, which is good depending on what build you're going. But I thought going to top of the rock would be better for me. Alright, so now he is going to be shielded, and when you do 1/4 of his health, that's when 2 unstoppable champions will spawn. And yes, there is a bit of a lag here and there. I forgot to mention there's a lot of bugs in this GM. And bear with me, sometimes they just disappear, sometimes they just lag. I mean, there's really nothing I can do. This season has been extremely buggy, very awkward to play on solo GMs. So now I'm going to be popping my super, and I'm going to be doing some more DPS at the boss very soon. I just need to take down these bang. Now the good news is not a drainer. I hate drainers so much. They are a nuisance. So when you do 50% of the boss's health, he is going to pop a bubble. He actually pops 2 bubbles. Now one bubble, I pretty much just had a prediction of his bubble, but the second bubble was pretty unexpected, which I almost got bungeed because I didn't know where to stand during that part, and there was just little mini mistakes that I should have done better, and pretty much you'll see what I mean of what I should have done when going for DPS during the last phase. So I was saving for my super because I knew that the boss is going to spawn the red bubble. So I wanted to make sure I just use my scout rifle with kinetic tremors. Just keep spamming it until he goes to the red bubble. So once he does, I'm going to push, use my super, use anarchy on the bubble, and then just keep doing DPS as much as I can. Then I'm going to pull back to the left side. But yeah, this boss, the Stomp, he keeps pushing my Guardian far away. Either it got buffed, then we see a Cabal sliding down the hill. That was kind of creepy. That scared me. I don't know about you guys, but wow. I'm so glad that the Cabal didn't one-shot me there or push me. So that was really awkward. Stuff that it shouldn't do, but it did for this video. So we did as much DPS as we can. Now over here, what I should have done is just keep doing DPS at the boss. You know, I was just trying to focus on clearing ads, you know, a little bit of ad control. But honestly, I feel like I didn't really need to ad control so much. I should have focused more on the boss. And then ad control later. So this is just stuff that I should have done better. But hey, you know, it is Battlegrounds. Anything can happen. But yeah, this boss is really tanky. I'm noticing he is hiding behind that rock. I notice he is extremely tanky. I mean, wow. I mean, I always thought the Inside Terminus boss was tanky, but this guy is, I think he's more tanky than the Inside Terminus boss. Alright, so now we're going to go for the mini third phase, where we're going to deal with 2 unstoppable champions. Now I'm just going to stand on this rock because I want to make sure I do DPS. Now I don't have any anarchy, unfortunately, so I have to rely on my sky rifle. So that was probably one bad thing when I was doing this run, but like I said, if I was using a grenade launcher, you know, maybe I could just do a combo of that with a scout rifle to make this run easier. Not thinking about it, I might do that on Corrupted. I'm just thinking about it. What if I just put a scout, a grenade launcher with the anarchy for Corrupted? You know, I might do that build to get it done and over it. The Unstoppable Champions were being a Bungie. I was trying to find other ways to make the Unstoppable Champions to push. And I figured they start to get a little aggressive when I'm standing at this spot, which is good because I want them to walk towards me so I can get this done and over it. Once you take down the 2 Unstoppable Champions, then the boss's shield will disappear and then you can do DPS. So this is basically what I'm doing here, just trying to clear as much ads. Another thing I should have done is quickly grab the heavy brick, but I didn't know what was going to happen at the third phase. That's why I didn't pick it up. Had no idea if there's going to be more ad spawns, or pretty much had no idea if the boss is going to teleport there because there's just so many bugs going on with this GM and overall pretty much everything. So I did use my finisher here and then I pull back. Now we're going to do DPS at the final phase. Now the one thing I should have done here is I should have saved my super for the next phase. See, I didn't really know about it too much. I'm trying to remember if I did use my super here or I just kept using my transcendence. I don't remember 100% at the moment, but I do know that there is a swarm of ads and the boss does cooperate. And then near the end of the phase, he just didn't want to show up at this spot sometimes. So just let everyone know that it was extremely annoying. But yeah, When I was doing this DPS, I was using my super, and I shouldn't use my super here, so that was pretty much the biggest mistake I did. I should have waited for my super. I should just keep using Transcendence. And then when the boss does his bubble, then I use my super. But that was just something I should have done to make this run more efficient. But I got a little impatient because he was just not cooperating. I should have maybe go on top of the left side, the red pipes. Maybe I should have went on that spot from the left side to do more DPS at the boss. So that was one thing maybe I should have done instead of standing here. I wasn't really thinking about it too much when I was doing this run. So that's just one thing I could have done. Just focus on the boss, Transcendence, and then push to break the orange bubble. But yeah, now the boss is cooperating a bit, but then he pulls back. See, this is what I was a bit unexpected, where he went to the orange bubble, and then here's a problem. You're gonna have a bunch of ads, a whole ton of enemies when the boss goes to the orange bubble. So I was trying to see if I can push to go to the orange bubble, but then more ads spawn over and over and over again. It was beyond ridiculous. Alright, I hated it. I was thinking to myself, are you serious? Let me go break that orange bubble. Like, guys are not letting me, man. Like, chill. I just want to get this GM done, or a Battlegrounds done. And it was just ridiculous. They were even spawning or teleporting behind me too. I did pop a Glade Bubble because I saw my radar that they were close to me. And it was just so bizarre what was going on for this GM. So now I'm going to try to break the bubble. So I'm going to go behind. And like I said, make sure you save your super so you can break the bubble. Trust me, you'll thank me later. It will make life easier. It will make life easier, so now I'm just going to try to go around, see if I can break the bubble from this area. But another mistake I did is I should have used my super, right? And then go back to my save spot to do DPS. And that was just one thing I didn't do for this video, so that was pretty much the biggest mistake. And I should have done that. So right now you see here, I am going to be using my super. And then once I use my super, I should have pulled back. And this is pretty much unexpected. There was a swarm of ads behind me. Ad spawns is so weird for this GM. Extremely bizarre. I was trying to find a spot to hide so I can go around. And I was trying to see maybe I need to do some Transcendence, see if I can clear down these ads. And I saw more ads that were spawning. I said, nah, I'm going to go to the other side. This is not looking good. So I thought in my mind, okay, I'm just going to go back around and just take him down from the safe spot. Because I had no idea of what was going to happen when hanging around in that area. When they're throwing grenades at me. And also Void Blast. The Cabals that shoot Void, they do so much damage because of Void Threat. So I didn't want to take my chances at all for doing DPS on that spot. I feel like this spot on the top left red pipes would be the best. Doing DPS, dealing with the boss. Now the boss wasn't cooperating, and like I said, I should have just jumped near the red pipes from the left side to do DPS at the boss if he's hiding like a bungee. So now we finally took him down and we got platinum rank. Thank you so much for watching. I'll see you guys next time. Bye.